Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ramachandra, Jai Shri Lakshmi Simha. Today, I would like to speak about the excess rainfall in 2021 and its effect on the Mullaperiyar Dam in Kerala, which is a very important subject for millions of people living in the South Indian state of Kerala. And several of our dear friends in Kerala and our viewers and subscribers have requested me repeatedly to, just share my thoughts on this particular subject. And I just wanted to share with you what I have read in the scriptures, as well as my own research about the excess rainfall situation and the extreme weather that we are facing in 2021. Generally, the media attributes all the extreme weather events to climate change, but I would like to say that climate change is not the only factor to blame. Extreme weather is a phenomenon that is not unknown to humanity. It has been in place since thousands of years, and even now, certain years have extreme weather events, whereas certain years do not. So we're seeing this, it's a cyclical thing, and nature is always cyclical. Thinking of things to be abrupt and random is very, very foolish. So we all must understand that nature has a cyclical attribute. Everything has a cycle, and things go on in a very predefined fashion. So I would like to explain this with the help of a lot of different things that we're going to discuss about in today's video, along with the outcome of what could happen to the Indian state of Kerala and what can be done in order to prevent such a crisis, because always 50% is in the hands of the people and 50% is destiny. This is what our Shastras say all the time. 50% is always in the hands of people, and it is known as the Purushartha, the Purusha Prakriti. It is what we do that matters a lot, and that is more than 50% in most cases. So first question is, why are we seeing so much rain? This is a very important question because this year 2021 has been phenomenal for several areas, especially in Eurasia and Australasia and the entire continent of Asia. We've experienced a lot of rain, particularly in several areas. And here we have the 2021 European floods, for example. It took several countries by storm and by surprise. Many countries which had never experienced such an event in the past were suddenly hit by this unprecedented crisis, as it is labeled by all the government officials of several European countries which were battered by the 2021 European floods. And it's very sad to note that hundreds of people have died, and many billion euros worth property and several animals also have died in this particular catastrophe. And in the same way, we've also seen that there has been floods in China, in the central province of Henan, and there have been so many more dangerous and extreme weather events of 2021, and we're really not sure how many people have lost their lives in the floods of Henan, which could be much more than the official count. But certainly from the images and from the videos that have been released, it feels that the floods have been really horrible and just hit the people like anything, even in China. The same way, we're now into the 2021 South India floods with the states of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and several other states in India. Before this, we had floods in several other parts. I see that this particular year, from so much data, we're able to understand that this year has exceptional rainfall overall. Why is the biggest question that we would like to answer in this particular video. And of course, the answer to this has already been explained in my previous videos, but not in enough detail, which I would like to explore today. It is the year of the moon. So now many people were asking, what is the year of the moon? I've talked about this in my previous videos, and a beautiful verse of the Bharat Samhita also summarizes it very well. I would like to first explain to you what is the year of the moon. I've talked about this in detail on my video dated October 22nd, 2021, explaining how exactly the world has been affected by these extreme weather events, and I've also talked about this in my previous videos before October. So what is the year of the moon? It is a very important thing that we all need to know. The Vedic calendar is being followed here to understand which year it is. every year starts on a particular day, and I'm not talking about the January 1st, the unscientific Gregorian calendar, but our scientific Vedic calendar. And I'm also going to post an article with a detailed calculation on how we arrive at the start of the lunar year and the science behind it. But for now, let me just tell you that the lunar year begins on a particular day, and that day, if it is a Sunday, it is the year of the sun. If it is a Monday, it's the year of the moon, and so on. It is arrived at by a very important calculation when the moon comes out of its new moon phase and enters the Chaitra Masa, or the first month of the lunar year. And this is a very important thing, and many astrologers make a prediction or an observation exactly when the lunar year begins, so that they can understand the next year in terms of the meteorology, in terms of the overall prosperity of the nation. And in this particular video, we have explored it in a short, precise mode, which you can also take a look at. And now I would also like to quote the beautiful verse in Sanskrit that talks about this year of the moon. And this particular verse says very clearly that Vyaptam nabhav prachalita chala sannikashair vyalanjanali gavalachavibhiv payodaihi gaum purayadbhirakhila mamalabhiradbhirutkantitena guruna dhvanitena chashaha, which is again in wonderful Sanskrit, and it clearly says that if the lunar year starts on a Monday, the moon becomes the lord of that particular year, therefore exerting maximum influence on the earth. And Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays are not just random and meaningless words to depict a particular day, but they are coming in a cycle. And most people don't realize this because we use it in day-to-day rituals like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But actually speaking, each one of these days is ruled by a particular influence in our solar system. And we're including the most important and most prominent of these: Sun, the Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn, and they represent all the weekdays respectively, starting from Sunday. And in Sanskrit we have it as Ravivara for Sunday, and Somavasara for Monday, and then Bhaumavasara for Tuesday, or we also call it Mangalavasara, and Budhavasara for Wednesday. We have Guruvasara for Thursday. We also have the Shukravasara or Shukravara for Friday, and Shanivara for Saturday, respectively, for each one of the important grahas. I would like to refrain from using the word planet, because planet is completely different from the Sanskrit word graha, which both encompasses planets as well as other important celestial objects that have influence on the earth. Graha does not mean the modern definition of a planet, so I would like to abstain from using that word. And now the year of the moon is basically when the lunar year begins on a Monday, and the moon exerts its maximum influence as understood. That means there will be a lot of rain, the clouds will be dark and will continuously pour rain. It is also a year of prosperity, and people would not see too many shortages of many objects because of the moon having a benevolent influence overall. So that's what we've seen this year. Despite all the different challenges posed, the economy is going quite steady, except for certain geographies, certain places, little bit trouble to the economy. But overall, 2021, being the year of the moon, has been quite stable. 2022 is going to show us a few different colors. I'm going to explain that, and I've already explained that in my previous videos. But overall, 2021 has been quite okay for the people in terms of the economy. Not, of course, COVID-19, but economy. And the year of the moon has caused exceptional rain. This is very concerning to people who are living near rivers and near dams particularly. And this is the reason why I chose to make this video, particularly about the Mullaperiyar Dam, which is over 126 years now. And Kerala is going to be very much affected by it if anything happens to it, God forbid. But the people of Kerala are very worried already, as the dam has reached its limit of 142 feet, the storage capacity limit. And there is a lot of political tussle, but I would not like to go into all of that. I would like to tell the people what might happen from an astrological perspective, and alongside I would like to also caution people of their own karmas, as the scriptures say, and what exactly could be done by every single person in Kerala to avoid this disaster, to all of you and your brothers and sisters, and it's very important. So the Kala Sarpa Yoga, as already mentioned in my previous videos, begins on the 14th of December 2021. We need to be seriously vigilant, as the period between December 2021 and April 2022 is basically a very important time frame, which is going to very well dictate what is going to happen to several countries around the world, in terms of the economy, in terms of weather, in terms of almost everything. But we need to be very seriously vigilant about the period starting December 14, 2021. And of course, health-wise, even the health of several countries will be badly impacted after this. But coming back to the weather, Kala Sarpa Yoga does cause a lot of serious and tremendous effects to the weather. We have to be very careful about this, and it has a proven track record, which I would like to summarize in a different video or on my website in an article which is coming very soon. December 14 to April 2022, to summarize, is a very important time frame, and intense rainfall and seismic events may damage the dam during this time frame, particularly between January and April. There will be there will be a situation wherein Mars and Saturn are again coming together, making it the third planetary conjunction, third superior planetary conjunction in just 2 years. We're having the third superior planetary conjunction, that too within a Kala Sarpa Yoga, and this is very much worrying, and it is certainly going to have an effect on the dam. It may not fail as soon, but certainly this will damage the dam. By April 2022, there will be a lot of negative effects to the dam, and I believe that people and the legislators of both the states which are involved in the ruling of this dam should take this into serious consideration, that just mere mathematical or engineering formulas cannot tell you whether a dam is safe or not. And Mother Nature can do anything, anytime. It can be drastic, and it can defy even the most scrupulous observation. And this has been seen so many times. For example, the St. Francis Dam. And I would like to come to this next, but just to summarize, we cannot say that the dam is safe completely, as Mother Nature, especially over the next 6 months, will show her true colors. And of course, karma matters, which I'll be coming next. Karma matters, and that's the game changer here. Destiny is only 50% and karma is the other 50%. We all need to understand this. In order to make a collective change, we need to make a collective effort. The different things that are affecting the world today, for example, the entire lockdowns, the pandemic, and the deaths across the world, and the fascism that we are experiencing throughout the world, and so many other events that are affecting thousands of businesses and people, are because of our collective karma. And it is not a random event. None of these events that are happening to the world are random. It is because of karma. It is because of what we do. We cannot escape anywhere after doing something. We cannot escape. There is no option for escape. Karma will affect us, and it will come to us. So what can we do here? We should try to make the changes the very moment we get to know that our actions are affecting us and those around us. This is very important. And this also includes one important thing that is very, very subjective to Kerala, considering that Kerala, does not have a cow slaughter ban. And people have the power here. If you stop killing cows and other animals, if the people of Kerala stop killing the cows and even other animals, I'm sure that this will impact the prosperity of the whole state. This will reduce the frequency of any natural disaster, especially earthquakes, as it has been scientifically proven that the more the animals are slaughtered, the more the violence. There is something known as the Einsteinian pain waves, and that does affect the seismic nature of each place. And the more people kill animals, the more there will be earthquakes. Recently, we had the Gadimai festival in Kerala, no, sorry, in Nepal. And in Nepal, several lakhs of animals were killed just for a religious observation of the Gadimai festival. And the very next year, within a gap of months, one of the most dangerous earthquakes in Nepal took the lives of over 2,000 people and destroyed property. And this just happened within the span of a few months. And scientists have also stepped in and have analyzed this and have come to a conclusion of a theory that it could be very much possible that animals and their slaughter, violence, human violence has an impact on the situation. And we also know that Kerala has been labeled as God's own country. And people here ought to live up to that standard. They need to make it God's own country, and God does not like violence. My dear friends, beef has become part of Kerala's food habits because of the intense association with external forces from different countries. But it's time that we come back to our own culture and understand that Kerala is also our motherland and it belongs to Bharat Mata, and it is very important for us to adhere to the Vedic culture as well as the cultures of different other parts of the world. And we have to understand that cows do not belong to any particular culture or particular religion, but they are very important and very calm and peaceful animals. They're the epitome of calmness and they represent Mother Nature. They are nourishing and they are one of the most helpful animals to humanity. And they are like our mothers. So therefore it is very cruel, very evil, and very much dangerous to kill a cow. And this is what is happening in Kerala, and I would like to warn you all that if this continues, then certainly Kerala will be hit not only by one disaster but many more disasters in the coming months. And as our Shastras say, for example, the Bhagavad Gita rightly says, Sankaro narakayaiva kulagnanam kulasyacha patanti pitaro hyesham lupta pindodaka kriyaha. Right now we are seeing across the world there is something called Sankara. Sankara in the sense a population, overgrowth of dangerous population. Population that does not understand what is right and what is wrong. We are experiencing this across the world and it is in our hands to stop negative things from happening by making sure that we avoid causing harm to Mother Nature and avoid killing animals. And we have to also educate the younger generation of society to avoid killing animals and to be more helpful beings for planet Earth. Otherwise, we will, in the process of destroying the Earth and its resources, we will also be destroying our own human species. This is very important, and killing cows constantly, as already mentioned, will result in immense negative energy and soon earthquakes. And earthquakes and cow killing are very close to each other. We can see it in almost every country. The places where people kill cows the most are suffering from the worst earthquakes, and this happens all the time. And countries that are so-called developed, they will also soon face the wrath of Mother Nature for being violent. So I would like to tell everyone, especially the brothers and sisters in Kerala, to please avoid and spread the news, spread the word. Please stop harming any animal. At least mother cow should be spared, along with the bulls and the calves. All of the three should be spared. And what we saw recently, just around 3 years back, a demonic bunch of politicians in Kerala, they slaughtered a cow in public. And that shows how tolerant the state is to cow slaughter. It is very, very serious a matter, and it is not at all expected from a state like Kerala, wherein people are well educated, at least from the English standard. They should be able to understand what is going on. And I do expect that at least some person from Kerala should wake up and just tell the fellow people in Kerala to stop doing this and, to make Kerala a more peaceful state overall. Peace does not mean peace just between humans, but peace between animals and humans also. Humans should avoid torture to animals, otherwise Mother Nature will torture the humans, and we're already seeing that. And it is important. The second point, of course, coming to the safety of the dam, as already mentioned, there's an astrological time frame which is very much negative, and we cannot say during this time frame that the dam is strong and can bear water. And anyone who says that the dam is strong and can bear water and nothing's going to happen is certainly biased. So personally, I would say that it's important to note this particular time frame is very dangerous weather-wise, and therefore the dam is not safe. Such mistakes have been done several times. For example, as I was already quoting we had the St. Francis Dam in the United States. It collapsed the very next day. The architect of the dam supervised the dam, had a look at it, and investigated the dam. The very next day it collapsed and took the lives of over 2,000 people. And these are so many events when very experienced people have used engineering models or mathematical models to analyze a dam and its safety, but it has failed drastically and terribly and has destroyed several lives. So it's important for us to now understand this and take appropriate steps. Even if the dam does not fail now, it will be significantly damaged by the end of April 2022, that is for sure. And then it may fail between 2030 and 2035. I will come up with a more concrete update regarding this after monitoring the situation during the Kala Sarpa Yoga, because during the Kala Sarpa Yoga we get a lot of omens, and based on these omens we can analyze what will happen for the next 10 to 15 years. So I'll be waiting to analyze this, and after that I will post an update as soon as I know about it. So of course, people need not panic. This video is not made for the purpose of scaring people, but to make everyone aware, as this is not of course this is not a small issue. A dam isn't like natural weather. It's very difficult to forecast when a dam is going to break based on just modern science, and it's very important for authorities who have power over the dam to understand that the next 6 months are going to be crucial to the safety of the dam, and several events will impact the safety of the dam throughout the next 6 months. Summarizing it, I would say that people need to be careful, people need to change and mend their ways, and government authorities need to be very careful, and they need to take into consideration the astrological aspects. And in fact, I would go to the extent of suggesting that the governments need to study, the meteorological departments of several nations, not only India, need to study the Brihat Samhita, and they need to understand the different chapters mentioned here without any prejudice, without any bias, and they need to apply it, create a report, try to understand how accurate the Brihat Samhita is and how much it can be used for the benefit of human society. This should be done. If this is not done, the government certainly has several other ulterior motives. And this has been suggested by several scientists that our ancient wisdom needs to be utilized. And now, this is the most important hour. We all need to analyze the ancient wisdom and come up with concrete information. Because the government has so many resources, it is the duty of the government to come up with a report on the weather and make it available to the public. And that report should also take into consideration the ancient wisdom that our sages have given us. So, and I'll also be coming up with an article on the astrological calculations behind this particular forecast for the next 6 months and what could happen to the state of Kerala. So, thank you. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ramachandra, Jai Shri Lakshmi Narasimha. So now, I would like to speak about how we can prevent such a catastrophe. What can the people of Kerala do in order to prevent something so dangerous like this from happening? Of course, here the most important point comes into picture. It's the game changer. People have the power. And destiny is only 50% of what will happen to us in the future. Karma is the other 50%. It is what rules us. In fact, karma has so much power that every action that we perform has an opposite reaction that is going to affect every single person. The next minute, the next hour, and the next every second of our life in the future is ruled by what we do in the present and in the past. And therefore, even the people of Kerala need to be vigilant about this. They need to understand that killing Gomata, the cow, mother cow, we call mother cow mother not because of any religious bias, but because Go Mata is called as such because she provides us nutritious milk that is necessary for the well-being of every single human. And such an innocent, important, and useful animal, if slaughtered, it really shows how down and how lowly the people of Kerala have been stooping for so many years. It is time that we understand our culture, to be humans, to be humane, to respect Mother Nature, to respect Mother Cow, and to make changes. It is not the fault of the people of Kerala. It is because of the very intense connection to several other countries and other civilizations, barbaric civilizations like the West, etc., that have, actually speaking, corrupted the dietary habits of the people of Kerala. And it's time that you all now realize that we have such a powerful and ancient heritage of Bharata, that we respect every single being, especially the ones that provide us essential things for survival. And I would request every single person in Kerala, this is not only limited to Kerala but the whole world, but at the moment, particularly for Kerala, considering that a large threat looms over it, which is this dam. And it is important for the people of Kerala to avoid non-vegetarianism, to avoid non-violence overall, instead of just focusing on non-vegetarianism. We need to show that we are a human civilization and that we are not beasts trying to destroy the lives of other beings. And one interesting fact I want to share with all of you today is that there is a link between slaughtering of animals and earthquakes. It is being explored very much, and it is known as the Einstein pain wave theory. It is very much possible, and it has been very clear because we are seeing it regularly happen, that whenever mass slaughter of animals happen, an earthquake succeeds that particular event. For example, I would like to just give you all an example. Some people might already be laughing, but yes, there is a festival known as the Gadhimai festival, in which lakhs of animals are slaughtered. It occurs in Nepal, and every time this festival is done, some or the other disaster strikes Nepal. It is a very regular happening, and yet the people of Nepal continue to do it. The government of Nepal has not levied any ban on it, and it is still continuing. In 2014, they did this, and several animals were slaughtered. Several, in the sense, 2 lakh animals estimated were slaughtered, many of them buffaloes, and the pain that they suffered hit the people back. And when did it hit the people? Within just around 7 to 8 months, there was such a powerful earthquake that it took the lives of 2,000 humans and swept away swathes of property and wealth and prosperity from Nepal. You can just read about it. This is not information coming from me. You can read about it. Everyone knows about it. And there is a very strong link, even if modern science is trying its best to disagree. I'm sure that there is a very strong link between slaughtering of animals and human suffering. Just to quote an example of how evil certain humans can be, here is an example of the Kerala Youth Congress leader who, in broad daylight, in front of the public, in front of a public gathering, slaughtered a cow, the very cow from which he would have had milk. He slaughtered that very cow, which is the mother of human civilization since time immemorial. We consume the products of Gomata. We use her dung, her cow dung. We use her medicines that are prepared from the Panchagavya in order to survive. And Mother Cow is one of the essential reasons that humanity is still alive today. She is one of the essential reasons that our Sanatana Dharma is alive today. She is one of the most important reasons that this whole world is functioning today. And yet, this barbaric leader, so-called leader, is leading his masses into the den of darkness of the Kali Yuga. And these rogues will be responsible if anything happens to Kerala in the future. I strongly object to any of these killings, and it is very clear that killing animals, especially cows and buffaloes, has a very deep link with earthquakes and several other dangerous events that have happened in humanity. If you don't believe me, you can check it out for yourself. Just correlate any big, major, dangerous event in humanity and correlate it to cow slaughter, and you will see a very strong link. Not only that, even if that is not, of course, there's several reasons for earthquakes. I don't mean to say this is the only reason, but it does have a role to play. And even if it doesn't have a role to play, or even if you don't believe that it has a role to play in earthquakes, it is surely, as Swami Vivekananda said, a thick black cloud of sadness that we all must stay away from. It's a thick black cloud of sadness. And our scriptures have always recommended us to stay away from it. Even the Mughal empires, several Mughal emperors banned cow slaughter. They knew the reason behind it. Not only was it human sentiment or Hindu sentiment, it was about the civilization. Human civilization depends on Gomata, and we must respect her. This also applies to bulls and calves, because they are also very important in terms of their dung, in terms of the economic uses that India and several other developing nations are still using bullocks for transport and even for agriculture, and they are far superior to tractors in terms of agriculture. Therefore, it is wrong to slaughter them also. And in any case, every animal has a right to live, and therefore it is very, very wrong for anyone to even think of slaughtering any animal. Moving ahead, if you want to help your motherland and the people, please take this seriously. Please stop eating meat, and the whole system will start changing right in front of you. If you do it collectively, if a community does it together, I'm sure you will see that positive change. You will start seeing it in your own mind. You will start feeling lighter. You will start feeling more merciful, more compassionate, and you will start feeling that a more beautiful soul is coming within you. And I just urge you to try it at least for 1 week. 1 week of vegetarianism, 1 week of non-alcoholism, 1 week of following traditional Ayurvedic lifestyle, and you will automatically see the magical changes it will bring about in your entire lifespan. And in case you promote non-vegetarianism in any way now, and you feel deeply that it is wrong as a decision to promote it, for example, having a hotel or a restaurant that sells non-vegetarian food, or having a YouTube channel or a WhatsApp group or any social media group that promotes non-vegetarianism or non-vegetarianism ideals, I would recommend you to step back from that and to help the people who are under your influence to become vegetarians. Spread this. And if you're a vegetarian watching this video, please don't hesitate to spread the news, to make sure that everyone understands how important it is to be kind and merciful and compassionate as a human being. And this will be very important for our future. If we as a human civilization want to survive, if we want to improve, the only way is to be more compassionate. And I just want to make this clear to people who are unable to understand English in Malayalam. So here it is, a Malayalam slide. I've just translated it on an online translation at Google Translate. So you can please read it. This means that killing Gomata or any animal, killing animals causes extreme human suffering. And we all should come together to avoid it, and we can prevent any catastrophe. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ramachandra, Jai Shri Lakshmi Narasimha. Take care.